Well, for Ascent, it's definitely a map that doesn't surprise in a lot of different ways how it plays out, agent compositions, and bot. With how things are going down this time around, this was XSET's pick, and they picked it up.
Coming into this map, we pretty much knew that this was going to be a really strong win for XSET. This is a map that they are very comfortable on, a map they have played a lot of. So it's not really all that surprising to see them come out here in map number 1 and take the dub. I did kind of frame this as being a 3-map series where I thought that both teams would win their maps somewhat one-sided, but I am concerned on whether or not Complexity can take that kind of a loss and then reset and come into map 2. I'm also looking at map 2 as a map that's actually somewhat promising for this XSET roster. So overall, this is a great way to kick off the series for XSET. I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided because if you remember, they won the pistol and the 2 rounds after. They only won 1 round from that point on. So that's an incredible turn of events as the way this started. It seemed like maybe Complexity had a little bit of a better approach to the map than we expected.
Yeah, I thought it would be slightly closer, but I mean, it's just almost perfection from XSET. Like I can't remember anything that they did particularly wrong. Again, Complexity got the pistol and rolled with that for a bit, but otherwise, I mean, look at how many first splits they just absolutely dominated. It was almost always a very early 5v4 in XSET's favor.
Set truly on X game modes to start things off here. This is the lower bracket. You want to make sure you get off to that proper start. And I mean, we were saying it while we were watching. Bob just doing Bob things. So Sapphire, not really too surprised to see Bob leading the charge here.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone is shocked by the scoreline. I mean, other things that we can add to this is just like perfect ult timings from Bob. I think in the first half, 3 ults alone, and we know that Sova takes a lot of ult orbs to get to that point, and just almost always ready to, like, as soon as a drone goes out or as soon as they get any point of damage or the spike is dropped, like Bob is instantly ulting. Like the awareness is incredible.
Bob even having that 1 round with the 4K where 2 of them came off the back of an ult alone. Bob having a great series start. But don't be surprised. We focused on Lace versus Bob coming into this one. Don't be surprised if Complexity turn this coming into map number 2. I do feel like there is a chance they can spin this one back around, but they really need to get over the hurdle of the fact that they just got bodied on their opponent's pick. But again, it is a map that's so good for XSET. So I feel like Complexity coming into this one, they had to know this was a possibility.
I feel like theme of the day is resiliency and just how a team's able to be pushing past these losses through this adversity. So it should be pretty interesting. Pearl, I think interesting for a lot of reasons too. I mean, Bach, you touched on it. The fact that this doesn't actually look particularly bad for either team, both in recent times and through the qualifiers, having a really good showing on it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 4-0 record map for XSET, looking just at game changers thus far. They didn't beat any like big name teams. I guess the team with maybe the most prestige around them is Ariana Grande Perfume, which might make a few people laugh, but they actually did do quite well in the qualifier. Name. So I think that win is worth mentioning. On the flip side, I don't feel like this Complexity roster is like amazing on this map. I don't think they're bad on it either. They obviously had a great win against Moist Moguls the other day on 13-5, but when they faced off against Overkill Black earlier in the open qualifier, that was a 13-10, so maybe a little bit closer when it was a team who was more prepared for Pearl to come into the play. I look at this map and I do worry. I feel like there is a world where XSET could pick up where they left off just because of how easily they won map 1 and the fact that obviously that momentum is going to carry into map 2. This is similar to what we said in the previous series. I really need to see them win pistol, or I think that this could just start snowballing.
Yeah, when they play against a team that isn't so comfortable on Pro, like they look really good. You know, we talked about yesterday, like how they need very minimal utility. Like they're really relying on that single Lace Sova initiator to get into the sites. They get that plant, and then their post plant is incredibly annoying to deal with. Yeah. But that's something that XSET, on the other hand, might be better prepared for than their other opponents.
Yeah, specifically too, when we talk about this map and how it plays out, gotten to see a couple of different looks from different teams coming on Pearl, but the fact that Complexity more so not running any sort of duelist, so this could really be a thorn in the side block for XSET to have to go through.
XSET also run a very peculiar comp, at least if they were to mirror what they did during the qualifier stage. They play a Harbor comp, so they do go double initiator. They also played Phoenix. Like, it's a super weird comp.
How is that not the first thing you mentioned?
So, like, they play Phoenix, they play Harbor, they play Astra, Cypher, Sky. Now, again, open qualifier, it's possible that that's not the comp they're going to come in with today, but it did work. They won that game 13-11. It was close, so it probably could have gone a little bit better. Maybe they don't play Phoenix, but maybe they do bring the Harbor into play. I've been a fan of Harbor, and I feel like he's underutilized currently. I feel like he doesn't play as well with an Astra. I feel like maybe with a Viper, it's actually a really strong 1-2 punch, especially on a map like Pearl. And we've seen some teams try to incorporate Harbor a little bit more with the Viper, more specifically looking at a map like Lotus. I think there's a world where this composition could kind of catch you off guard. You're not going to anticipate a Phoenix play. You're not going to anticipate a Harbor Astra combination. It's just not the type of thing you expect a team to do. And it is another composition that maybe plays a little bit to the post plant, but not the same way that what we see from Complexity, where they're really like, we need to get on site and then run away, and they just basically annoy you. We'll have the KJ mollies. We'll have the Viper molly. We'll have Astropole. We'll literally have everything possible we can to stop this plant from being successfully defused. So I don't know. I look at XSET and Complexity, and I feel like they have two fundamentally different approaches to the map, assuming that we get that pick. That's assuming a lot, though. We could see a completely different composition come in.
It definitely is a big assumption, because going through the qualifiers, it definitely could be a, hey, actually, we feel really, really good about what we have behind the scenes. We don't really want to showcase that, which is, I'm waiting until we get to the agent select before I get my hopes up too much about how this goes down. But hey, Sapphire, if we end up seeing a Harbor, we end up seeing a Phoenix, I mean, I'm here for it.
Oh, it's about time. Yeah, I'm here for it too. We know that Bob is one that is happy to dabble in the newer agents. Bunny Bee obviously is a very, very capable duelist, so certainly fun to see them on a Phoenix.
No, they got the hover. Tell me it ain't so.
Well,
Tell me it ain't so here.
They ran this composition through the
qualifier.
My
goodness.
So it wasn't just like a one and done fluke thing. This was multiple matches through the qualifier. So it's not entirely surprising, but there's always that question. Okay, so there's the major swap. They will not be bringing in Harbor. They'll be going back to playing Sova, and they'll bring in Sky. I think that's maybe the right call. Again, I like Harbor, but I just don't feel like Harbor plays as well with an Astra. I feel like Harbor really plays well with a Viper. You get a ton of control with both walls. That makes it an incredible nuisance to deal with. This composition, though, is not that crazy. The Phoenix is definitely peculiar. I'm curious to see how well it works out.
Hey. Ever since last year, Bunny Bee is one of those players that can get in your face and wreck your day. So Bunny Bee with this Phoenix, I am super excited for. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to be hopping right into the game. And I'm sorry I couldn't do any better, but we're going to throw it over to Badug for our second map.
Badug's pretty good.
That might be my favorite. I'm not going to lie. Bug.
We've had some interesting ones, but Badug might take it. Badug might take it. We've got second map on the board. Bala, talk to me about this Phoenix, man, because I could tell you were so excited when you saw it drop.
I don't know. It shakes me to my core when you just see a nice Ascent, solid comps going through, and then all of a sudden you come through with this. It scares me a little bit, but let's see what they got, because they showed some good prep. But at the same time, too, Complexity looks so good on this map yesterday. So I'm really not sure. I mean, Phoenix is very good on this map. As in general, you don't see it really that much on the pro level because it's Phoenix at the end of the day.
There's only one other team that runs it.
You can't get that much value out of the wall, out of the molly. So, you're looking at the flash, you're looking at his ult for basically all the kit. This is cool right now. They're looking for a little trap play based off of the pistol that Complexity ran yesterday, which is them kind of walking up into mid. But they're going to have to eventually deal here with Complexity's wall by Jazzykins, and she's waiting so long to use it right now.
Patience is a virtue. The longer she's able to hold on to it, the more effective it'll be in a pistol round.
As long as she puts it down before they even start executing.
Yeah, that's true. There's a shot where it may be too late.
Where's everybody else? Oh, they went back towards A. Got walled off.
Eventually, they do clear out that first panel as Jazzykins falls. Equalizing the numbers at 4. The rotate's going to come through, but I mean, either you commit art or you push A, or excuse me, you push mid into Link and fight B?
Yeah, but losing your smoker there at 45 seconds definitely hurts. Now you have to go dry.
Yeah.
You can't even use utility to execute. You can't use a flash. You can't use a dart because you're trying to just take dry fights because all the angles are going to be exposed. But
Yeah,
the A side is open.
Yeah, I believe Lace just used the dart on site too. But she still stays, not believing the lack of information.
Oh my goodness, they're walking through sewers. 20
Yeah,
seconds,
they
they're going
are.
to get the plant. And there's going to be a double flank? Are you kidding me?
Claudia spots him, Claudia spots him! And there's a good shot at getting both.
One enemy remaining.
They kind of lost the plot here a little bit. It went sideways.
Yeah, that one was beefed a little.
I don't know how you win this 1v3, man.
They just jump spotted window too. Now they're going to flood through. Yeah. Yep. That's what happens when you go for a double flank and it doesn't work. I like the idea because they're tapping the spike as that's happening, so they kind of made the read. Okay, if the Sova's running this way, playing flowers, and we kind of have information on the rest of the team, then we can make the safe assumption that the site is clear. So they go to plant, and that's when the complexity players who are in spawn are going to come back and maybe get caught off guard. But I will say XSET looked like they had, again, a nice ante on the pistol round. They tried, and they're going to go for the same cam.
Turret out.
But are they actually dealing with the comp out of complexity is just solid. There's really not that many holes. There's not something specific that you can expose. And not that they did that on Ascent, but you're doing so much anteing. That's something that you have to be able to find as well. I think the orb missed the one-way here. No, it's actually, sorry, they're using the wall.
That turret's going to give some of the position away. But they're just going to clear it out. And the nice thing is they still have some time. They have a 1-3-1 right now. They can repossess or reassess the round and decide how they want to approach it.
The difference is staggering between the eco rounds on Ascent here that we saw out of complexity. XSET taking it really slow, trying to work the picks. You saw how good it was on the first pistol for them. And they actually did break the alarm bot with that molly. So a star being put down on top of the KJ molly definitely could find some value. Look at the spike though, it's up pretty long. Trying to get an indication of what the idea is here for XSET.
This 1-3-1 just feels like it took forever, man. Like they never really moved. There were a good solid 20, 30 seconds where there was no movement. And the problem with that is, and you get late into the round, if one of your moves doesn't work, you're forced into bad situations.
That's terrible.
Last player standing.
All good.
It's terrible, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yep.
It's a clean anti-eco out from complexity, okay. I don't feel the same as I did about the first 2 rounds here from XSET. I think you're right. That took a long time to find any forward momentum in the round. Yeah, they broke the turret early in B-Link, but that was the only thing they accomplished.
Yeah.
But let's see. Guns out now. Complexity. Best weapon they have is Guardian or Bulldog, depending on which way your opinion sways on that. I'm looking at the starts here for complexity, and the fact that Jazzykins rotated all the way over here. They want to play aggro on this with a molly and potentially this grab wall and a slow. You're not going to get a wall off though, so early pick from Bunnybee.
Yeah, and that's where you see some of the value of the Phoenix. Oh dear. She gets away. But that's where you see some of the value of the Phoenix, right? The close flashes that are so difficult to deal with.
And no wall being able to be used here in the post plan either on the retake. They're going to get the site. Nice shock too. It's a really nice start.
Yep.
Oh!
Very clean.
Remaining.
Very
Cage triggered.
And the quick flank as well from Panday. You could see that was the idea on the eco to try to get her some extra value too. Nothing going to be found. Kara's just going to have going down with just the Marshal. Whoa, hit the floor.
Where are you going? You know, I do respect the aggressive play call there from Complexity, wanting to take that early fight.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's different. Again, it goes back to some of the calling tendencies and how IGLs will try to have different approaches to rounds to keep their opponents off guard. So I like it. I think it was a cool idea, but there's just not enough there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you really expect XSET to go pushing into that slow, right?
Yep.
But like you said, the Phoenix is just so good at these like close range engagements. You're not expecting a flash out of that recall. And when you're playing aggressive, you have to push up into that flash. Phoenix flashes are the hardest flash to dodge in the game, and that's easily the case. You have to expect it's coming. You have to be pre-turning it, and even if you do pre-turn it, like they're swinging so fast too.
Right. 1 point away from the ult for Bunny B. Same goes for Pende.
Look how immediately after that round, they're starting to just run down towards B. That's them recognizing the fact here that Complexity looked a little weak on that first, and now they have the Phoenix ult to go off of.
Yeah, I think that's a big key part of it as well.
Look's over.
Being
Gotta have
able
the
to
cancel
access
slow.
that and invest it. The slow, but Bunny B pushing forward. What do you clear? You don't have a lot of time left. The flash is good, but the kill doesn't land. Jazzykin's able to provide cover.
Nobody scaled past that because of the slow and the molly. That was really good.
Covering
Just
it.
completely canceled out. And sure, they ended up not really finding anything, and only one player even took a little bit of damage there. No way to go through.
Just Bunny B. Just Bunny
You
B.
fought well.
Everyone else is gone.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of know exactly. Based off how Bunny B's playing, they're just trying to walk through the wall.
Yeah.
That one hurts.
The rest of the hit looks like it's going to end up A. You've got Pende, who's taken art, well, had art. Claudia's able to clean her up.
30 seconds
And
left.
off of this, I mean, you've got 3 members left who are going to be pushing in from A. And Karakot with utility out, but it may be enough to delay.
Hitting him in the 2. Bob!
Clean out from Bob.
Hunter's Fury now up 2, but they haven't planted the spike, so Cat needs to get some extra space for it.
Standing.
Uh-oh. This is a
10
problem.
seconds left.
Hunter Fury certainly not in play here. 8 seconds left. They've gotten it down to 1. The pre-fire on the swing. It was so close. The bullets go right above Lace's head.
That was almost Bob magic.
I mean, even this swing, like the transfer, expecting the swing out, it's just so, that had so many chances.
I'm not sure if I think she might have had still 5 seconds left to tuck into that and go for a plan after the first kill, but you're right, like you're just going off momentum there.
Yeah.
Alarm bot out.
Once you take a fight with 6
Placing
seconds, you're
swamp
going to lose
grenade.
track of time.
Mm-hmm.
Good attempt from Bob. First 4 kills of the game, and it's almost a round win for XSET. And they're still going to be able to scrape together a bye here. Challenging again, but you could see Complexity instantly switched based off that eco, or based off that bonus that they lost. Playing a lot more passive over here. No slow this time though, so they can get through. Nobody's scaling still though.
Yeah, well, Gravel intended to do a little bit of the same, but you're right, it's just enough to delay. Nobody can follow up.
Spike down.
This time
B.
there is
Spike.
space established by Bunny B though.
They need to wait for another smoke here.
Look at where
From Cat.
Pende is, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot of space. Remember those play calls where the fakes were coming? This one is, they weren't intending to do this, but because Pende is just going for these lurks consistently. I'm surprised. Claudia's a very proficient lurker. Maybe she'll come through and able to make the call that Pende might be up close, but now they're working them on both sides.
Yeah. The concern with plays like this is it takes so long. Unfortunately for XSET, Complexity are just holding here around B. But if you imagine
30
if Complexity
seconds
hadn't hard rotated B, if they were playing a 2-2 or something like that, or even if they had all rotated A, you've got flanks all over the place, the spike in a precarious spot. It could spell disaster. Either way, XSET get through, even with Bob falling, and get the spike down. Or Bunny B, excuse me.
That dart's going off.
What was that dart? That's still flying.
They've given up the space. XSET has.
Clean out from Cat, 3 on the round. 66 HP though. Bob's
Player
timing is
standing.
great, but Claudius is better. Katsumi's gonna have to do it all.
One enemy remaining.
That's 4. Requiring the ace to win the round.
So tap either.
No, forget the ace.
Get the gun.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. They just got pulled on every single side of the map there. The over-rotates continue to hurt complexity. I don't know if it's going to be something that continues to hurt them down the line, because I think so far they've been able to retake a lot better against these late lurks. There, Bob coming behind the Astral Wall. They kind of forgot, thought it was
Enemy
a
remaining.
brick wall that nobody could get through. Yeah, Cat and Jazzy recognizing the situation there. Even with the wall going down, there's no plan. There's no time to get that defuse.
Yeah.
Same
Oh,
aggro.
right into the action.
This time
But
no
this time-
flash out.
Exactly, yeah. This time XSET take a small step back.
They're fighting behind the smoke though, and this could get dangerous. This is full-on duels coming up.
Jazzy with the hero rifle as well. This is a sticky spot. She doesn't have a ton of way to get out of here. And if the trade comes through, yep. Now the problem is now the rifle's in a position where Kara can't easily pick it up. It's just a pistol left.
And again, Pente finding a gap, finding space to get this lurk. Does she tap the cam? I don't think it would even spot it, but the Seeker will definitely give up the fact that there's a flank going on.
Concealment.
Look at all those smokes.
Yeah, Seeker just spotted the player in spawn.
Last
Other
enemy
one is
remaining.
definitely getting the other one in spawn. Jazzy forced down on that. You said hero rifle. It's because she saved that last time, but you could see that actually has put them in a really odd economic position. She had to get armor, and now she's only at 150 credits. Thankfully, there's actually the. I mean, I would have saved that if I'm Claudia.
Yep.
Maybe you
Or
can get a-
perhaps picked up the rifle that was left there from Jazzy. I don't know if
Yeah,
it
there was a
picked up
vandal.
at some
I
point,
mean,
but
maybe
yeah.
maybe somebody from XSET picked it up and threw it off the map
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah,
it might
yeah.
have been. But either way, like the Guardian is enough for me there because then I could drop for whoever needs it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No big deal. I just think Jazzy's going to be in a really rough position. As a Sage, your kit is so expensive. To get that wall,
Right.
it's 400 credits. It's like... and it's a big part of their game plan, right? Not really when it's focused around this B control, but when they're running their default setup, a lot of times Jazzy is just trying to wall off over towards A main.
We saw that so much yesterday.
Yeah, it's... I mean, who knows what she's going to buy here, but with the timeout out, yeah, I mean, what are even the choices?
Yeah, none, really. Light armor or not? It's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's going to be a sheriff, like, if she wants the wall. And they can make do with the splows, but either way, it's harping over on something that might not even be that instrumental in the round. Looking at the ults right now, Claudia has hers, Lace has hers. There's a big retake tools, and also potentially trap play tools from Lace. But then on the other side, Katsumi has her Astral Wall. That's an easy, easy, easy site take. At least on the B side. It's a lot more difficult than the A side because you could play in front of it. They will challenge that A main. What did Jazzy end up buying? A Spectre. Okay. Spectre light armor, 1 slow, 1 wall.
Pretty serious investment, down to 150 credits. Pit invested in the middle of the map, too.
Jazzy spotting here. She's going to spot them, so even if they did want to fake there, which I think they might have, there's no chance they would have bought. I'm looking... Bunny B has been getting way too aggro down B long in some of these rounds where they're looking for a lurk from her.
Yeah.
And she's just not finding the right timing to go through that Viper wall. And in this case, too, there's all this KJ util still up.
The drone...
Saw her foot.
Yeah, I don't know if she saw it, though. There's no ping on the map or anything like that, but you're right, the ankle was there. Well, now they know.
Yeah, the thing is, there's not a flash on this side of the map to deal with her, right? So she could just continue to hold straight up. Worst thing that could happen is she gets double swung. I'm not a fan. 30 seconds going into this where there's a KJ ult and there's KJ util up on this site. Could be devastating
30
here
seconds
if
left.
Claudia uses it preemptively.
Watch it,
And
find
the
it.
Hunter's Fury. Lace can rotate over a little bit and deal some damage. The thing is, that Cosmic Divide, Tara was the only bit of info that was there on the other side of the Cosmic Divide, which
Bunny
falls.
B, Bunny. Oh,
That's aggressive. Oh, but there was somebody in heaven!
they haven't got the plant down too, so it's gonna lock them down. Cat's detained. 2 players detained. Whoa!
Oh, man. It was there.
I mean, there was a chance for sure, but it was still a 2v2 situation in terms of the players who weren't detained, and I don't think she would have had the time to even take Cat down. So, I mean, the fact that everybody from XSET there ends up pushing up caught them completely unaware. These rotations are just getting worked on the side of Complexity on this defense. It's the same problem that we saw in Ascent.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see the same type of shriek being caught up here.
Watch your eyes.
4 of the last 5 for XSET, and it seems like another's just up and ready to go. Yeah, the Phoenix on Pearl's all right.
Yeah, when you end up fragging like that. I do like the use of the ult there. She thinks she's going to die to the next shot, so she just pops it. It's anti-eco, though, so it takes a huge initiation tool on the next gun round coming through. And only a Bucky here, so yeah, I'm not thinking anything is happening in this rest of this round.
No. No, surely not.
And the speed that they went there. Again, you actually saw Complexity struggle against Moist Moguls when they played that A main setup in some instances because of how fast you were around that corner. In that case, it was against a Raze. I'm surprised not to see the slow that we were seeing yesterday. Usually there's a slow landing directly on the floor where they're flashing around that corner, but this time with the eco as it was, you have those tools.
Five of the last 6, a 2-round lead for XSET.
That goes there.
Oh, that's how you throw it. Nice.
Ah, cheeky scam.
A little tech from Panday.
Save that for your ranked games. That's just no aggression, though. And, you know, the truth is, Complexity haven't really pushed from the defensive side a ton.
Not mid. Not at all in
Yeah.
mid. You're right. Bob just got a drone into A main, recognizing they're not playing that aggro A setup, so Jazzy's probably on this B side. The thing that I'm not sure if they make the inference on is whether or not she's playing the option. They had enough money for it.
Patience from Claudia. Oh, man. Bunny B's still good for it.
I think you can make the inference that she has the op based off what's happened so far. There's no slow, there's no control of A main, there's no wall anywhere, and there's also not the slow B long. And now you see her jump spotting. I don't think, not the way that Cat's moving there. But they've lost B link. There's so much time to pivot, still 40 seconds. The start is huge. Bob continues to impress.
First shot missed. The third shot missed as well.
Heal as well, gonna bring her back up to 80, so
30 seconds left.
they're pivoting. All up to Lace now.
Control. They have so much control, and look at how far back Complexity are playing. Kara's playing back in spawn. Lace is close by as well.
They have to cover it because they lost the Killjoy. They lost Claudia early in the round. They check. No.
Scanning ahead.
How
10
fast did
seconds
Complexity
left.
fled here? They only have 2 members close by on site, and that might be enough. 7
Spike
seconds. The
down
spike
A.
still back in main. It's going to be so close.
I don't think they have it.
It's
don't
going to
think
be
they have it.
really close.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh. 2v2, a different ball game now.
Insta reposition as well from Bob.
One enemy
Bunny B has the
remaining.
molly to heal. Just gets the kill. And Ace potentially in play here. And does Jazzykins fight? Does she save the op? Time ticking. Jazzykins pushing forward. Trying to play in the small window that's been provided. But Bunny B may have the timing on her. This could be disaster. The op very well may be lost. She hears that. She hears that.
I like the idea from Bunny B. Go hunt that op. Your bank is starting to get huge. And on top of that, any ult orb the Phoenix can get is just so massive. We might end up seeing it in a gun round. Yep, she does have it up now. Second 4K of the game for her.
One enemy remaining.
What'll this be? The third ult? If I'm not mistaken? Third ult of the half?
Yeah, she used it on the anti-eco, and then one down belong as well.
Yep.
In this case, Jazzy still has the op. Not really hurting economically for her team this time, given the fact that they have full loss bonus. And all right, now we get a little bit of misdirection, but they know she has the op.
There's that sword that you were calling for.
I like that wall a lot. That just went out from Bunny B. Basically used the same way as this recall at the top of B Longwood in a lot of instances by Astros to try to obscure whether or not somebody's crossed, and that's information that you have to spend. They just used a drone by Lace.
Yeah.
And all that time is spent while you're hitting this site. That is huge.
Joke's over.
Very good
You're
call.
dead.
There's the ult, but the gravity well. First it was the slow and the molly. This time it's the gravity well. That keeps them back, but Bunny B still farms, bro. Bunny B still finds value.
Almost had a team flash there, but they're going to plant safe.
All good.
Dart broken, but shock damage from Lace.
Traded back, too. 8-1 from Bob. Res for Raze.
That's in the open.
That's very bold. Still a flash. Nice out from Kazikins in a position where the flash doesn't hit her, then swings out, lands one with the op. 3v2 in favor of Complexity. Now equalized. Cat with the pressure from backside. Cat's so good!
Yes, that is it, my fan. Woo.
And that might have just been the dagger in this first half. Because it's round after round after round. I'm not gonna go through the rest of the timeline, but it is now 6 in a row for XSET. They're one round away from matching the same pace that they hit on and the same streak that they hit on Ascent in the first map. Devastating blow. And she was trapped. She was trapped backside.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As the Astra, you're wanting to be all up B long so you can play your grab well, you can play the post plant really well. And she just doesn't have those tools, and she shows up without them.
Going up.
This is them noticing, okay, they've been grab welling, they've been slowing. And again, walking past. I mean, that's bold.
That is aggression. But you want that out of your Phoenix. Uh-oh, a little overcooked.
And they called for a fake again, and this time you do have Kara here, but only a frenzy. I like the smoke to play into.
Yeah. You wonder here too, given the fact that Bunny B's already died B, why the wait for Complexity to rotate? They were so slow on it. They're just now arriving halfway there.
And the nerf on the heel is going to hurt there. This kid's only going to be at 30 HP.
Seek them.
After that fight, sure she gets a Vandal, but look at this reflank again. They're playing so far up in front of the wall. Cat can play around it.
Cheeky positioning from Panda as well. Just suffocating everything for Complexity. Oh, that was clean out from Claudia. 5 HP, swings back out. Deals a kill on Katsumi.
That is low. So is Claudia. So is Raze. Everybody low here.
Clean out from Raze. Claudia's going to get the defuse, and this is very similar to the first map. Given how the half is gone, for them to get to 7-5 would be awesome. They take
Last
that.
round in the half.
Yeah, this one is definitely a little bit more even in terms of the sidedness, so not as concerned as I was on Ascent. But I don't know if I'm expecting XSET to come out swinging here, give up on these kind of like split prong approaches.
Yeah.
Because while they're pulling rotates, the other thing that they're doing is, again, Bunny B, while she's 13-9, a little overextension there. I think I've seen 3 rounds where I'm thinking to myself, that's maybe a little much. Especially given how you've faked, like, what, 7 times this series, it feels like.
Yeah, it's been plentiful.
So Complexity is conditioned not to rotate in this case. Bob's opping. This is a Bob classic. She loves to pull it out on Sova, on Breach, different agents.
Sova up on attack. Man, that Phoenix, that Phantom skin looks so good when it's glowing. Shot a little wide. Ray swinging off of the contact. Not able to deal a shot.
She's leading in against Lace. If Lace is peeking here, could get in trouble. I don't know if they've spotted the output. Ooh, they're finally going for this mid-aggression.
And it's a different cam this time. Well, not to mention Pandy's already dead.
They don't expect 2 on the flank here. Disgusting.
Cat with plenty of targets to dance around. My goodness.
Last player standing.
Oh my god.
Dude,
She
it's a
is
highlight reel.
too good.
30 seconds
Just
left.
too good.
Spike planted.
Dude, between yesterday and today, we've seen some of the filthiest individual fights and multi-kills that I feel like some of the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
Switching
it's
sides.
nasty. And the crazy part is, I think version 1 didn't even get streamed in that instance. Shopify.
So who knows what was missed? Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Let's take a look because this is halftime, 8-4 in the half. This was what I'm calling the dagger right there for the half. Might have been for the game. We'll see. We'll see if that's the case. It's a little early to call that, but they did have a little bit of a bounce back, at least of 1 round.
Yeah, I could watch that Katsumi 3K all day.
It's so snappy. Pistol needed. XSET's actually been what? They've been kind of even right now. It's 2-1 for complexity. So we'll see if they're able to convert the defensive one again. Oh, they're farming right away. You can't
that was
find
bold too.
Yeah, not even a flash around the corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just expecting Cat to hold. Oh, Claudia's gonna be here in time.
This
They're
is
not
too
checking.
bold.
They're not checking.
Punish
Yeah,
you.
it's too bold. Katsumi baiting Phoenix. Love that.
That's what I would do.
You
You pick Phoenix
would.
in my game, I'm baiting you.
You.
Come on now. Hey, Katsumi's top fragging. You got it's fine.
That's true. And Bunny Bee is one step closer to an ult. You got the Death Orb. It's fine.
I was gonna say I don't know about like forcing ult orbs on defense for Phoenix. It's a lot less. I don't know. On these retakes, definitely you can find some value for sure, but it's not like you can get a full sight for it. And you're always put back into a position. Nice grab on the swing with it. That is just beautiful stuff.
I mean, you hope that you catch someone in it, but if not, there's still enough space to swing off. You're absolutely right.
It's completely designed as well to happen before that safe wall goes up. Because you know that's where their initiation's coming from. Oh, God.
Just narrowly missing the timing on that. One more thing they're going to have to deal with now.
No flank coming up. Claudia's 9 HP. The heal's not coming up for Jazzy right now. Oh, no.
Bob a little weak.
Waiting for a smoke right now.
Again, everyone weak except Lace and Cat.
I'm going to recall this. Oh, my. Okay.
Another multi-kill for Cat. What's that, 3 now, 4 now? Just this map?
Yeah, let's just run the same halftime reel, add that one to it, and call it a day. She's insane right now.
I'm just farming.
Again, I love the idea from XSET. They know the idea is for them to go for a Sage Wall.
One down.
And so they grab well the close angle. Where you expect that star that's down, if you're the attacking side, you're approaching that, you're thinking it's going to be a smoke.
Right.
Or a recall or something like that. The grab off of timing too, not even a dart, not even anything fired off. That was just pure instinct.
Yeah, no Q. See that early dart in towards A main from Lace causes just enough hesitation from XSET as they try to reestablish A main control, get an orb. Going into Bunny Bee again, like you said. How did that not hit?
Pinch.
All good if they're able to push Lace back and get the kill. Oh, that was clean.
Well, hold on. Yeah, they're in big trouble right now. Rise
they are.
has to get away, but they picked up what will be 2 weapons here on this eco, and it's 3v4.
It's like playing a game of chicken. Who's the first to move? Who's the first to go? Bob's timing is good.
Standing ahead.
Almost perfect, but good enough to cause problems. The only gun that remains on the attacking side in the hands of Raze. Some damage dealt, not enough for a kill, not enough for a round.
I think the only criticism I can make there is the player with the gun, and Jazzy's the one who's
Don't
planting
even start
in that
shit,
instance.
mate.
And so they get swung on. And the other thing too is they're really scared to get through that art smoke, even though they want to receive Rise's reflank after they lost her from pushing A main. Right here is when they're jumping through. They left Jazzy completely alone. Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, well, Bunny B is now 2 off ults. Looks like they want to aggro in A main again.
But there's a setup for this. Look at the star out from Kara.
A lot different. But the other thing too is you don't have to go for the orb. You can kind of just straight up challenge.
The slow in the smoke.
They wanted to run back up and flash, and they might still do it because Rise is here. That's bold. I thought Rise was going to join up and go for it, but hey, they'll get the heal back on. Looking at the economy right now, they did cancel the bonus on Bob and kind of Katsumi, kind of Bunny B. It's going to be a rough, what will be the 4th round here if XSET do end up losing it.
They still have plenty of time here. That Trailblazer early on, as they're starving for info on the defensive side, gets a little something. Yeah, and this is very well played. Look at it. They just dropped 2 Astra Stars on A, and they're rotating off. And that's going to be enough for Panday to rotate.
Setup was definitely to try to cheat
30
off
seconds
of
left.
the Cypher util that's on this side, but let's see what they can put together. There's 3 players coming through B-Link. The other 2 players are really late, so Panday has a chance here to get a multi-kill.
Well, already part of the way there, but the swing out from Raze is too aggressive for them to deal with. 12 seconds
down,
left.
B.
Spike now
10
picked up.
seconds left.
Should be able to go down. Bunny B calls spoiler!
remaining.
Boy, it was enough to delay. Even if she doesn't get the kill, it causes problems. The ult swings out. Lay's seeing it right
remaining.
there. It doesn't get any freer than that. But so well played by Bob to just wait it out. Not give the fight.
And then swing too. I mean, to get the cleanup there, no gun saved.
Yeah.
And that's going to compound. That was a bonus that they lost the first kill on. That's the bonus that Katsumi's the one to go down. And you saw how much of their setup relied on some of her stars. So all of a sudden, Complexity now, I mean, they're saving Sheriff. Light Armor is going to be bought out. But essentially, they're playing for OT at this point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have Lacey's 103. I'm trying to look through and think through what are some different possibilities for Complexity to get back into this. What tools do they have?
Just look at this push.
Yeah.
XSET. This is 20 seconds into the round already, and they've just pushed off the one opportunity that Raze has to instill some sort of misinformation and also threaten it. So they've upped the pace on this side of the map. Yeah, sure, they're going to find a 1 fight. But without actually getting a fight, this retake is going to hurt. This post plant is going to have to be perfect.
Perfect with the Stinger or Marshall and then pistols. One of those already gone.
In that, and maybe Kara will get up another star to get the grab well off, but you're relying on a flank here from Jazzykins. It's going to come way too late.
You mentioned the utility that's on the site, and I guess you don't have to worry about it if you just kill the remaining members. The flash around the walls. Look at Lace going.
They're not actually pressuring the spike defuse at all, so all of a sudden you got volleys on it too. Time is a huge factor here. Lace still has that ult.
No, the mollies aren't going to be a problem. It's really just the ult that they're going to have to deal with. And Jazzykins, 2 clean shots with the Sheriff. Delaying the defuse for now, the 3rd. And a round 1 for Complexity.
What just happened? Lace just knifed Panday.
Standing.
What just happened?
We'll see if we can see that one again. Maybe too late in the round.
That is hilarious, because she was trying to rush the ults down, right? Because they were so spread. And again, this is them running down up onto the A main players, ending up being so rough. There's the knife fight. I see. Panday did not expect Lace to have canceled the ult that fast. I think only two pulses went out. Because Jazzy called that they weren't on the spike.
Standing ahead.
Oh, they were ready for that one. Dart cleared out instantly.
They're going for more. I mean, Panda's pushing up B-Long by herself. This is a sheriff round, so XSET just going crazy for it, but they're giving room back into this right now.
Yep.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah, they are. The economy's not that bad either. Look, Lace is 3450. You got some money to go around. Ideally, they want to get out of this without losing any more rifles, though.
I think both these last 2 rounds have felt very disjointed from XSET. The A main push coming in here at the same time as Panda is trying to go up. And then in the last round as well, nobody really having the contingency plan to try to save that space on site and threaten the spike defuse at all. Those are the types of things that are going to allow Complexity to have some sort of breathing room in this game.
Toxins going up. One enemy remaining.
There's no way Cat's still gonna die to the spike of that. That's crazy. The slow, the gravity well, the spam, everything.
It's funny, she was chasing down a kill through spawn there. I respect it. Okay. Bunnybee's so far from the ults, and Complexity is actually going to have a number of ults up.
No more.
And that's
No more.
a scary sign for XSET, who continues right now. They won the pistol, they won that
Auf Wiedersehen.
bonus,
This goes here.
but the aggro's starting to really hurt them. So what's the idea? They're going again Complexity for the same A main control with the slow, the dart. That's the one that's been costing them. Turret out in mid. It's an insta drone for Bunnybee to try to challenge and fight. Look at this, actually. I think Bob just tried to take out the turret through the wall so Bunnybee could continue to walk up. They're going for a full hit on the site. There's one kill trip on the site.
Oh, man.
Did she just get spammed?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know that she peaked either way. Not around any longer. Now the Viper's fit for Complexity. Bob gets a kill. You've got the Hunter Suri to perhaps cancel this out. That's going to be so labored.
They're using the Trailblazer the same way, but they already used the drone from Bob too, so
Yeah.
there's no way in here. And nobody scaled on that dog. Bob went for a reflank again, looking very disjointed.
It's just going to take too long. You've got Claudia's alarm bot you're going to have to deal with too. Maybe you play for exits?
Yeah, they're looking for exits. That's 100% what's happening right now. Bob all the way
The
back
alarm
main.
bot.
She could still force them. Like, they have to get really far up in main right now. Rice might get a flash. Great
What?
spam. Talk about being disciplined.
The awareness.
And they're back into this. This is 4 rounds. They're back into this for sure. Again, breaking the economy too. XSET going to start to get some key ults, but that was nice from Complex. They only spent 1 of their 4 ults that they had online. Now they have the KJ ult. They still have the res. They're happy to duel. Cosmic Divide to take the B site whenever they want. Cat and Rise still had weapons in that. They fell off. Bob is the only one who died. So again, economy is kind of in shambles here
Yeah, it's
for
weird.
XSET. They've got the 2 hero rifles. Those hero rifles have to find something in this round, or you might be looking at another situation.
Turrets destroyed.
2 players have Spectres in the next. Some extra things that could be value here is getting some of these ults out from Complexity, making them spend a res, making them spend a Killjoy ult.
Take flight.
Late dart mid. The timing on that's going to be tricky if they're going to be able to have it back for late in the round. What other tools do they have? They've got a flash out from Rise. Cats push back. They're investing the Hunter Fury.
It's paired up with the grapple. That was huge.
Oh,
That was
that's
beautiful.
so good!
Bob continues to find the perfect times to use those right on the line.
Uh-oh.
30 seconds left.
The spike is well out of reach. They're going to have to fight their way through it, and they seem to be doing so. Raze has already gotten 2, looking for the 3rd. The Cat's able to trade it out. You know, before the round started, I was so tempted to say, like, it's often the rounds you least expect.
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
That's a good, that's Doug speaking the truth. It's always these types of rounds. They only had 2 rifles there, let me remind you.
Yeah.
And that one, I mean, it's going to bait out a timeout here from Complexity as well. It's their last one. That one paired off the gravel there. I'm not even sure if there was a dart. I think maybe they broke it. But it's so good because that Hunter's Fury is taking that entire line. Somebody's running through the gravel for sure. They don't have a dash to get past it. And then as well, Bob adjusts the aim to go up. I think she might have gotten the tag off the first, and then they went up the ramp. Oh yeah, you know it wasn't a dart because of that late round dart that came through. Some of us who are so consistent with the Hunter's Fury and finding actual damage with it are insanely dangerous. And you can see why.
Hey, low-key, getting damage or getting kills with the Hunter's Fury, it's hard to do, man.
Yeah, a lot of instances. These players are really good at dodging. But then when you see the utility that's paired with it, you're like, okay, that's free. So, match point now for XSET. Complexity, they fought hard. Can they get what's required of them? 5 in a row. Thankfully, the bank was big. You called it out before. Going for the same drone to fight. And I liked this the last time because I thought they were going to try to walk up, but this time there's so many players who wanted to fight here. Rise was there, maybe with a flash, double flash. But they can get trapped, and this is the scary part. Bob is under pressure.
You are divided.
The 1-2 punch of Bob and Panda. But Claudia with the counter punch.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear. How does Claudia get 3 there?
Okay, they have to take backside control here against this Cosmic Divide. Nobody can fall off.
There's a star there, too, from Kara.
Oh, my goodness.
Last player
Little Theft taking a long time to upload. The Cat's gotten it down. Cat's gotten it cleaned. Rise swings out, too. They were so patient on waiting for that wall to go down. That's just so well played by XSET. They take down Complexity in 2, 13-7 on Pearl.
And it was clean the entire way. No surprises there after what you saw on Ascent. Pearl, while it looked good for Complexity, it was a possibility. XSET, that first half was so strong, and so many of their players showing up. That's through to the top 4 for them. They've definitely got to be happy for that.
And for them to even weather the comeback attempt that was coming through from Complexity late in the second half, it took heroics, yes. It took Bob's Hunter's Fury round that we saw in the second to last round that we just saw. A heroic stare at the end from Cat, the 1-2 punch. It was just so good from XSET. Just when it seems like there was a chance for them to get pushed, they respond beautifully.
Yeah, and now they're set up for the lower bracket here for the game against Mogul. Again, this is going to be such a good rest of the tournament, but these ladies looked very, very fierce.
They looked incredible. Let's throw it over to the desk to see what they thought about that series. Sierra, what do you think?
Thanks so much, Douglas. You know what? I think it was a great series. I was kind of a little surprised that we're not getting this map 3. I'm a little surprised with how things went by on that way, but what's not surprising is just XSET being good, Bach. I mean, we thought that this might go a little bit different ways in terms of being a little bit closer of a score line, but XSET was not messing around today.
I think it was, what, 3-3? At that point, we were kind of talking here, and we were like, this feels like it's already over. It just looked like XSET had everything they needed to close out the game, and we were saying 8-4 half would not be that crazy. That's what we end up getting. And even though we do get a little bit of a late push coming in towards the end from Complexity, it was pretty much XSET just controlling the pace of play. I love the innovation to bring in Phoenix, even though it's not necessarily a star performance, 16 and 17, so it ends up being somewhat even in that front. I think it's one of those things that like most people won't expect that. Most people won't expect a team to come in running a Phoenix. That flash can be so punishing. You also had Katsumi, who was popping off, finishes 23-9, an econ rating of 133, a number I didn't know you could actually get. I didn't know it was a thing. I assumed it just stopped at 100, but I guess not. Just really strong game coming out from XSET overall, and it's a promising performance from a roster that coming into this year, I think a lot of us had question marks surrounding them because we weren't sure what to expect. It does feel like it was pieced together, but the pieces are working.
Yeah, the Bunny Bee on Phoenix gave me some Zelsis Cloud9 vibes, like really working around that ult, always farming the orb, being able to make a lot of space early, thanks to Bob. Just another like really clean map, and then incredible like post plants, being able to retake those sites, hold the spike, despite complexity getting a lot of those first frags.
I feel like, yeah, the fact that it was, I believe, 11 first kills on the side of complexity, but considering the scoreline's definitely interesting, but XSET being able to hold it down, hold their own, absolutely incredible. And we set up beforehand this Katsumi versus Jazzykins. It was funny that we kind of compared them both on the Jet, and to end things off, it's going to be neither on the Jet. But I am really glad, Buck, that we got to see these two players queue off against each other.
I think Katsumi played exceptionally well as an Astra. You know, finishing as a top performer as an Astra is no simple feat. Obviously not necessarily leading the charge with the first bloods, but that's to be expected. Bob actually being the number one in that regard. 5 first kills coming in for XSET, 3 for Bunny Bee. That's 8 total just amongst the two players who are just beneath Katsumi in regards to performance. But Katsumi just nailed it. Just played really well throughout the series. I do think we're seeing maybe a little bit more flexibility from her in general, just the way she plays. Sometimes she's going to play Jet, sometimes she's going to play Sage, sometimes she's going to play Astra. So even though she's fulfilling the duelist role, there's flexibility with the way that this team works, and there's always the option to open up a second duelist with Bunny Bee. So I think that the team has a lot of promise. I think that when I've talked about Valorant in the past, the more flexible a team can be, the better. More flexible independent players can be, the better. So if a player is willing to play 3-4 different roles, that's huge if they're willing to expand their horizons and play all of the roles necessary to get your team across the finish line. Because what matters at the end of the day is not the numbers you put up, but the number on the scoreboard. It's the dub. You got to hit 13. If you hit that and you had the worst game of your life, it doesn't matter because you did what you needed to do to get your team across the finish line.
At this point, XSET having all of those pieces coming together to have that winning team that can, in fact, make their way across the finish line. We're going to be talking to them after a short break, but until then, sit down, enjoy our Prime Gaming match highlights, and be back in a few.
Player standing. One enemy remaining.
No more.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Standing. One enemy remaining. 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 Thrifty.
It was a strong performance for XSET, moving on forward in our lower bracket. Managed to close things out in just 2 maps. And to talk with me a little bit more about it, I have Rise on the line. First off, congratulations. It's some great stuff going on, and you get to move on through the main event now. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good.
That's awesome. That's great. And you managed to close things out in 2 maps. And I specifically want to talk about this Pearl because first off, it was some great gameplay, but we also got to see a really interesting composition. So first off, this Phoenix pick for Bunny B. How'd you land on this Phoenix?
Honestly, we're just playing like what we're comfortable on. So I don't know. We just kind of like picked agents and made it work.
Hey, I mean, the Phoenix worked. It might be a little unconventional, but it works, and I'm here for it. Then the fact that you're able to just pick whatever agent that you're comfortable on and make it work, we get to see a lot of flexibility on the team. How does that help when being able to make strats and take these wins?
I mean, honestly, we kind of like just play the game, not really with strats, but like with like how we know how to take some control and like capitalize off like what mistakes enemies makes and stuff like that. It's not really about the strats, it's more like about the defaults and stuff like that.
Okay. And then with the team and stuff too, there's a lot of power in this team with the individual names. So how did things come together? How is the team feeling on the internal end of things moving on in Game Changers?
I mean, we feel good. We feel good. We're all getting super comfortable with each other, so it's really nice. Every day we grow as a team and we get like more and more team chemistry, which is like really great. I love it.
That's awesome. And then has there been anything in particular to help try and build up that team chemistry? I know there's a lot of roster changes that have been coming into this season. So how has that been for y'all to find that chemistry and the friendship as a team?
We actually played a pummel party together. I think that brought us closer as well. Stuff like that, yeah.
You ended up winning.
Cat did. Somewhat.
Somewhat?
There was a bit of
like there's
a little bit of confusion at the end, but she did win.
For all intents and purposes, Cat able to take that win. Then y'all taking this win today, moving on forward. Now in the lower bracket, you get to face off against Moist Moguls next. How are you feeling about that matchup?
I'm really excited. I mean, previously CLG, right? Han is like one of my really good friends, so it's gonna be great to play against her. I can't wait.
I'm excited to see y'all face off. Before I let you go, if you have any shout outs or anyone to thank, this is your chance.
Shout outs to my team and shout out to like everyone who's supporting us.
Guys, thank you so much for chatting with me. Have fun celebrating with your team. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. As for us, back over to the desk, talk things out. Why don't we play Pummel Party as a desk before hopping onto a broadcast? I feel like that's some nice bonding here, right, Sapphire?
I am so down. Yeah. That'd be a good one.
Tomorrow?
I think. Really bond us.
I've never played it, if I'm being honest. So I feel like
Me
that
neither.
will not be a fun bonding experience for me, given my competitive nature. I feel like that would be the opposite.
Okay, cue in some Sweat Crush instead. But no, love to hear from the team and the fact that they are feeling good together. There's a lot of changes. This is just the first series of Game Changers, so being able to see these teams come together and be able to deliver these results. As we talked about XSET, there's a little bit of questions like beforehand, but I feel like we got a lot of answers here, Sapphire, with this team, how they're operating, and even Ryan saying like, yeah, we're playing what we're comfortable with and we're going for it.
Yeah, they're just playing their own game. I actually love that they mentioned they're doing those fun activities. I'm not entirely sure if they're on boot camp or not, but it seems like they might not be. But it's good to do those things, like building that chemistry, loosening up before a game is really important. And then it seems like another way they stay loose and comfortable is playing what they know, not necessarily worrying about what's the meta comps, what are their opponents playing. They just play what they're comfortable with and do it well.
I love that. Hey, this Phoenix is super good. Yeah, no, we're just running what we want. We're going for it, and it's working out. I appreciate that type of Valorant. But all team bonding aside, at the end of the day, it is Valorant. There has to be the shots that are hit, and some of them are going to be the flicks. We have our Aim Lab flick of the day, and this one is going to go in back a little bit. This was the moment, Bach. The one we're in Discord, we're all freaking out. We got to see reaction clips. This was insane.
Yeah, we were watching this and we were like, GG. Like, you start calling it out when she's over on the B site. She pops a TP all the way across towards the A site and then isolates 3 1v1s to end up closing out regulation. It goes into overtime. They end up winning the map and the series. It's a huge play coming in from Emily. It's no surprise that it's the flick of the day. It's one of the craziest clutches I've seen throughout Game Changers, and honestly looking at challengers in VCT as well.
And the fact, too, that that was the play for Moist Moguls to be moving on. Without that play, it was going to be ending right there, which is incredible. That's going to keep the dream alive, looking ahead at this lower bracket with Moist Moguls being able to make their way through to now face off against XSET next. The way things are shaking up, this is our top 4 now at this point, Sapphire. There's the V1, the Shopify Rebellion Titans at the top, and these 2 teams, Moist Moguls and XSET, looking to make that run to try and take them down.
Yeah, this is exciting. I think, a lot of people coming into this would have put EG in that top 4, maybe Complexity, but there's obviously some really, really, really exciting talent in the lower bracket. I don't know who's going to run away with that. And then V1 versus Shopify, like we've waited for this for a while now, right? After Game Changers Worlds, and we knew that C9 White was doing a lot of changes. Like, we've been waiting for this rematch to see Shopify take on Mel and Alexis, so I cannot wait.
I mean, these are definitely the 2 best teams currently in the region when you're looking at Game Changers. V1 and Shopify look fantastic throughout the bracket run thus far. I think both teams have not yet dropped a map. I don't think we've even seen a team get close. I think the best performance was maybe 10 rounds coming in from EG in the semifinal match against Shopify. Outside of that, it's been single-digit rounds for almost everyone they've faced. So definitely excited to see these 2 teams face off against each other. And honestly, I think we'll see it more than once. No disrespect to Moist and XSET, but it would be a very difficult match. Whoever ends up losing in this series and drops down into that lower final, that's going to be a tough one. So V1 and Shopify, I'm really excited to see those 2 teams duke it out. Probably going to be another 3-map series. Probably going to be exceptionally close. Multiple overtimes expected.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And we're not going to have to wait long to be able to see that one, because that one is going to be starting off our day tomorrow. It's going to be so exciting. Both of the teams have looked absolutely phenomenal, both making the case on why they should be the best team here in Game Changers Series 1. After that, we're going to be dropping to lower round 3 as Moist Moguls and XSET both trying to be moving on into that lower finals to take on whoever drops from V1 and Shopify Rebellion. It is going to be absolutely amazing. And it's a long day tomorrow, too. We're going to be having the 3 whole series. This is definitely one where you maybe spend the morning meal prepping a little bit. Make sure you have all your meals set up. Like, you want to be good to go for this one, Sapphire. This is going to be great.
Oh, I've got it all planned out. I am ready to watch every single moment of this.
Oh, and some popcorn too. That'll be a good shout, because these matches are definitely going to warrant it. That's going to be it for us today, though. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Bach, Sapphire, it's been amazing as always. I'm excited to see these games with you tomorrow. Our casters and production, thank you so much. Make sure to be tuning in tomorrow to find out who's going to be making their way into the grand finals. But until then, have a great rest of your night and enjoy your Valorant ranked games.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike down B. remaining. One enemy remaining.
I've got your trail. You will not kill my ally.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Clutch.
3 killed.
One enemy remaining. Player standing. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
My ult was ready.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.